We are now going to see the bunker. Like I told you before, the bunker was built within 3 months.
3 months?
Yes, between April to June of 1968.
Okay.
In 1968. And we also said that the bunker was handled by the Biafran Engineers. The Biafran Engineers. The Biafran Engineers. The civil engineers. Okay. The civil engineers are different from the RAP. Okay. Yes. So up here we can see the names of the engineers, the architecture, the designer, the man that the principal engineer, the superintendent, and the man that led the workers, Mr. Joel Ojukwu. All of them were from Anambra State.
The father of the...
This says on Hafiaz Street.
That's the residence.
Okay.
Hafiaz Street.
You are watching EJ The Journey with Nena Joseph.
You're wondering, where was General Ojukwu when all of this was happening? He was right here at the famous Ojukwu Bunker. A lot of strategizing, planning, secret meetings, and most especially hideouts were said to have been taking place here. This was originally the home of late Dr. Michael Okpara. This was his home. But when the war intensified, he donated it to Biafrans. And they used it as their hideout. But when it got to the point where they could no longer stay on the surface, they constructed an underground bunker. In 3 months, 90 days, it would have taken an average contractor maybe 2 years or something to come up with a plan. But it took them 3 months to come up with an underground bunker that is still solid 50 years down the line. It was alleged that the British government felt the war was costing them a lot of money. Their slice of the Nigerian oil pie, resident in the southeast and south-south, wasn't flowing anymore. Of course, there was war. With the international community on their heels, this series of protests, Bruce Mayrock's death, the Nigerian government launched Operation Tailwind. Operation Tailwind was supported and funded by the British government. They were 10 times more funded, 10 times better equipped than the malnourished Biafran army, and it was headed by Colonel Olusegun Obasanjo. Adekunle was changed as GOC and replaced with Colonel Olusegun Obasanjo a year later. Adekunle might have been a fine soldier, but he left a mountain of casualties, planless activities, and aimless moves. Information making round says Olusegun Obasanjo ended the war. Welcome to the truth. For the first 6 months Obasanjo took over, there were aimless activities. The troops were idle at Uyo, Ikotebene, Calabar, Aba, Port Harcourt. He left a mountain of casualties coming in from Owerri Warfront and Port Harcourt as the Biafran troops tried to regain ground there.
So these are the two heads of state during the Nigerian Civil War. We have General Ojukwu, the Biafran head of state, and General Yakubu Gowon, the Nigerian head of state during the Nigerian Biafran Civil War. And this is Ojukwu's cabinet, or the Biafran cabinet, or the service chiefs, you can call them. So Chief of Naval Staff, the Inspector of Police, the Chief Aide to the Head of State. We have Mr. UN Anoko.
Actually, during these updates, we're going to visit here. Okay.
So the chiefs of the service chiefs are complete here.
Okay.
Including the Air Force Commander, Mr. Ezilo, and others. And below here is the map of Nigeria. So showing us the geographical, the location of Eastern region, which was known as Biafra. So if you look at this whole map, you now see the size of Biafra down here, with the neighboring countries around it.
So it was this fraction fighting the entire
Nigeria. Yes.
Okay. What is?
They were able to withstand them for 2.5 years before the war ended.
The Biafran were able, not to we.
I said we, the Biafrans, were able to withstand them, fight with the entire Nigeria until 2.5 years.
So this is the Biafran
and
map.
This is the Biafran map. And inside this map, you see a small map having 3 towns inside it: Aba, Owerri, and Olo. So these were the only towns left intact, that were intact with Biafra as at June 1969.
Okay.
Which means by this time, other towns around it were already captured. See, so they had only these 3 towns to boast of. And before 1970, the Nigerian government has captured the whole Biafran towns.
Okay.
And that was why they have to surrender.
Okay.
So these are scenes from the battlefront. So you can see Nigerian soldiers equipping their artillery gun, heavy artillery gun, in preparation for war. And down here we have the Biafran mini-coin planes.
The one called Biafran Mosquito.
The one known as the Biafran Mosquito by the federal government. The soldiers call them, federal troops call them Biafran Mosquitoes because of Biafran baby plane or the Biafran mini-coin planes. So they look very smallish in size, and they are very swift and very, very, they don't fly very high. So that's why they were called Biafran Mosquito, because of their action, swift action, and their manipulation. Okay. And down here they use it to bomb one of the Nigerian planes, known as a MiG-17 fighter, MIG. Down here, the MiG-17. Is there at the War Museum? So these are pressmen during the Civil War in the battlefield. And these are the famous Obunigwe mines.
Oh, okay.
The Obunigwe mines are of 3 types. We have the bucket types, the flying Obunigwe, and the bobby trap. So these are the bucket types. Yes. Ojukwu buckets.
Okay, the one that is buried underground.
Yes.
They set it on an arena, cover camouflage. When the enemy saw the place,
so they were
just pack it up from a distance.
So they were locally fabricated by Biafran Engineers, technicians. So these are Nigerian soldiers or troops coming down from Lagos to Ore to attack the Biafrans. So, and here at Ore, they had to blast out one of the bridges, the bridge they crossed, as a sign of no retreat, no surrender. See. So let's move forward. Some scenes of military actions. So these are some of the Nigerian soldiers who were at the forefront. So here we have Colonel Mohammed Shoa, Brigadier Benjamin Adekunle, and Major General T.Y. Danjuma, who is still alive, who is still living. And here they are inspecting an anti-aircraft gun.
It was actually T.Y. Danjuma that initiated the establishment of War Museum.
Yes.
I think
So this is a multi-purpose machine gun. So you can use it to shoot down aircraft and also use it on land to fight wars. So here they are using their van as cover. And this is a heavily camouflaged Land Rover. So they have to camouflage it in order to protect it from being seen by the aircraft or by the Biafran pilots. And these are weapons surrendered by Biafran soldiers at Olo at the end of the war. So these weapons were carried to Kaduna military base after the Civil War.
The first move, now when the ships are coming, so the surrender equipment here, the Biafrans, how they were holding themselves, and they say no more.
No more war.
And children, and mothers and fathers. So
These are war captives, and these are war victims. A Biafran soldier was captured by Nigerian soldiers here.
Okay, Biafran soldier was captured by Nigerian.
Yes, these are Nigerian soldiers
Okay.
who captured one of the Biafran soldiers. And down here we have a Nigerian soldier who was also captured by Biafran soldiers during the Civil War. And these are members of Biafran Boys Company. Here they were selected for screening and for they were selected here for screening because Biafran needed more boys to go into the army to help them fight the Civil War. And these are Biafran civilians who were also arrested in their homes.
So what's the average age of these boys?
Yes, these boys, how old were they?
By that time, when they look at you and you are up to 17, 18 years, they will call you and you'll be forced. Yes, you'll be forced to go for training, and that is what we call conscription. Forcefully sending you for training to join the army. So during the war, when a soldier is captured and he hands up, it's a sign of surrender and loyalty to the opponent. And when a soldier surrenders, no soldier has a right to shoot him or to hurt that person, to hurt that particular soldier. Why this man is tied here for execution was because he felt victim of killing one of the Biafran prisoners of war. This is Lieutenant Lamode, one of the Nigerian soldiers, who happened to kill one of the Nigerian Biafran prisoners of war, and it was counted against him as a war crime. And because the international observers were around when this thing happened, so government had no option than to send him for trials, and which after that he was executed. He was found guilty of the very act and was executed by the same Nigerian soldiers.
Firing squad.
By firing squad. By firing squad. So we are now going to see the bunker. Like I told you before, the bunker was built within 3 months.
3 months?
Yes, between April to June of 1968.
Okay.
In 1968. And we also said that the bunker was handled by the Biafran Engineers. The Biafran Engineers. Not the Biafran Engineers. The civil engineers. Okay. The civil engineers are different from the RAP.
Okay.
Yes. So up here, you can see the names of the engineers, the architecture, the designer, the man that the principal engineer, the superintendent, and the man that led the workers, Mr. Joel Ojukwu Bunker. All of them were from Anambra State.
The father of the...
This says on Hatfield Street.
That's the residence.
Okay.
Hatfield Street. If you're on it, we are set. So this is the entrance to the bunker. The bunker was not a living house. They were only using it for 3 major reasons. 1, as a secret hideout for secret meetings. 2, for receiving of important visitors. And 3, for relaxation. When the heat of the sun is too much, some of the Biafran leaders will come down here to relax a little. But they don't allow sleep to take them off, to carry them away. So because when they are here, if they are resting here, if they are relaxing, they relax like a lion.
One eye closed.
One eye closed, one eye open.
After 7 months of inactiveness, the Pinsa 2 team led by Lieutenant Colonel Akin Renade, Major SS Tomoye, Isamede, and Olaoni pitched their command post without informing their confused GOC, as already planned December 22nd, 1969. They had with them their Pinsa 2 maps of operation and their plans, and they advanced towards Uli and Ihiala, the Biafra center of gravity at the time. As early as 6 a.m. on December 22nd, 1969, 17th Brigade under Major S.S. Tomoye fired the first shot. He advanced to the right flank, linking up with 1 division troop at Umuahia. By the 5th of January 1969, 14th Brigade was at Amaraka, 12th Brigade was at Umunna, while Tomoye's 17th Brigade passed through to take Umuzoma and Ruruala. The Biafran troops at Owerri, Umuahia, and Ojukwu axis were well rounded by this time.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us what you think in the comment section, and also share this video. This is IJE The Journey with Nenna Joseph on Anedo TV.